Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today for our OR Group's Partner Perspective series, where we highlight our partners' leadership, insights in your nonprofit space, and the impact of our work together. For all of those tuning in, we have with us today Michelle DeLaune, President and CEO of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. NCMEC is a private nonprofit organization founded in 1984, congressionally chartered to serve as the National Resource Center and Clearinghouse for Missing and Exploited Children. NCMEC's mission is focused on identifying the threats of our kids and figuring out how to better protect children. Michelle, throughout your career at NCMEC, you have testified before the U.S. Congress about matters pertaining to sexual exploitation of children and written several articles drawing attention to this very important issue. We are so happy to have you here with us today.
Really happy to be here. Thank you, Piper.
Thank you. I want to first start with talking a little bit about your industry insights and observations. With extensive experience in the nonprofit sector, you've no doubt witnessed significant changes across the philanthropic landscape. Could you share some key trends and opportunities that you've observed and how these insights have shaped your approach?
No, thank you. And thank you for inviting me to participate today. It's really been a pleasure working with you and with the OR Group. To your question, how things have evolved over the years, when we're looking at our philanthropic approach, one of the things, that we're very cognizant of, there are many great charities out there doing really meaningful work. And it's important when we're speaking with potential donors, with the audience, the public at large, that they understand who we are. How are we differentiating ourselves? What is the impact that we're making? When people are choosing to donate, they want to know that they're donating to an organization that is putting the money to good use and is making a difference in the world. That really has allowed us to look for new opportunities to meet our audiences where they are. We do, as you mentioned, a lot of programs. We have 15 congressionally designated programs of work that are very disparate. And so it's important for us when we're communicating to try to use a concise definition of who we are that the public will understand. We've learned that our organization has good brand recognition, but very, very different. The audience has very different ideas of who we are. We were founded with Adam Walsh's abduction. His parents founded our organization along with other leaders in the community. And being able to tell our story in a way that resonates with an audience, that they understand who we are, how we can support them, how we're working to protect children across this nation and around the world, and how their support really makes a difference.
Thank you, Michelle. Well, on that note of leadership and challenges and successes, prior to your appointment as president and CEO at NCMEC, you've held numerous leadership positions throughout your 2 decades with the organization. Could you tell us about the most notable challenges you faced during the growth of NCMEC as a leader in the child protection space and how your team has successfully overcome them?
No, I appreciate that question. I have been with the organization for over 2 decades, and the world is different now. Our organization is almost 40 years old, and I have, in my role since I began here in 1998, just watched the evolution of threats against children, but also in really positive responses of the child serving community. I think the thing that stands out to me most is just the explosion in cases. Technology has changed the face of how individuals are exploiting children. While technology, online, the internet platforms and so forth have added fuel to the problem of child sexual exploitation, it's also been a major part of the solution. And working with a lot of different partners over the years to use technology to counter the problems that we're seeing facing our children, with children being exploited on the internet, child sexual abuse imagery that's being distributed online, being able to use technology to counter that, but also using technology to find missing children. The old days of the milk carton with a child's face or posters that are hanging, we still do send out posters, but we have to use technology to shift the way we're looking for these children. Just recently, we launched a QR code that is now hyper localized. So a person anywhere in the country would be able to use that QR code and see missing children within 50 miles of that person. And it's really changing the way that we're able to target our messaging, target the missing children photos to individuals who are in the best chance to help a child. One more example would be Amber Alerts. Amber Alerts, when they first started many years ago, were statewide. We're actually the organization that is pushing Amber Alerts to your cell phones using very hyper localized geolocation tools that are getting the information that could save a child's life to the person who's in the place most likely to see that child.
Thank you for sharing that. I don't know that many people know that NCMEC is the organization that has been pushing out those Amber Alerts, and it's a huge success. And you're right, taking us leaps and bounds to help locate these children. That's a lot of successes, and you were a part of a lot of that, and very instrumental and much of it. What would you consider the most significant milestones to date?
I think the milestones in terms of, we're kind of gauging it by lives, right? We're the missing children recovery rate for 2022 was 89%. So we are actively seeking and finding and recovering children with law enforcement. On the cyber tip line, on the exploitation side, we've seen such good success in working with tech platforms as well as law enforcement and being able to detect criminal behavior and remove children from sexually abusive situations. I feel that success also can be defined by public engagement and by getting the public involved in this fight to protect our children. Most individuals, understandably, would not think that their paths would hopefully cross with an organization dealing with missing or exploited children. But it also really is important and critical that we are able to share with the public how our organization is relevant to them. We have free safety and prevention material that's being used in schools in every state across America. And this is free safety and prevention information for that parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, educators can use to help keep their children safe. And that's how I would define success, is making sure that the whole country knows that we are here as a resource for them.
I would agree. And it's one of the honors for me, myself, and OR Group as a firm to work with an organization such as NCMEC doing such important work. Switching gears a bit, OR Group is currently serving as a strategic and embedded partner to NCMEC to help significantly grow and sustain fundraising. Could you share specific instances or ways in which this collaboration with OR Group has added value, fueled your work, and contributed to the organization's strategic advancement?
Absolutely. We are incredibly grateful that we found the OR Group and that we've been able to work with you, Piper, and your talented team. When we originally reached out to you, it was a realization. I have been in this seat now for about a year, a little over a year, and the acknowledgement and the recognition that we are really in need of financial support in order to be able to continue these life-changing and life-saving programs of work that we operate, and bringing in an outside expert really to look at our philanthropic roadmap and tell us, are we missing opportunities? What are we doing well? Where do we need to be going in 2024 and beyond? And by working with your team, it really was validating for myself and for the leadership team and our board of directors to see that we have all the ingredients, and we have a wonderful cause. We have a wonderful ranking in terms of our Charity Navigator score, but are we reaching the audiences in the ways that we need to? And that's where I believe the OR Group has been so incredibly instrumental in not only telling us the areas that we have neglected or really missed opportunities, but also give us the tactics to actually get there. The strategic roadmap that you helped build and will be helping us effectuate really will be a game changer in how we're engaging with audiences, not only with our existing donors, but also individuals who we still need to introduce to our organization. There's even a misconception that we're a government agency. So in many ways, people don't even know that we are asking for financial support. So having a roadmap, it's all great and good to have big ideas of where we want to go. You need the tactics to get there. You need the tools, you need the training, you need the team that's ready to be proactive in talking about our organization, talking about the impact we have in saving kids, and letting a donor know that they can help us make a meaningful difference and that together we can do more. So it's just been wonderful to have outside experts come in and be a part of the team, and really believe in our mission and really be creative about how we can do better.
Well, thank you, Michelle. It has been a true honor for us to work with you and under your leadership and with your team. So thank you. Same for us. And for other executives out there as well, your entrepreneurial approach and proven organizational leadership experience make you a valuable resource for other leaders in the philanthropic space. What key pieces of advice would you offer to fellow executives who are striving to achieve impactful fundraising outcomes?
I think being open. We are a almost 40-year-old organization, and we have done well and have many partners and many different aspects of society. And as a public-private organization, it's critical for us to find ways to align our mission with various stakeholders. That being said, it's so important to be open to others. It's important to engage with other NGOs and see what they're doing. There are, again, a lot of great charities out there doing a lot of wonderful work in the child protection space and many others, but being open to seeing what others are doing, being open to doing things a little bit differently than you have been. I think taking any sort of constructive feedback as kind of the abrasion that smooths the stone and makes you better. And in the end, it's about our mission. It's about helping kids. It's about helping families, and who wouldn't be open to taking advice to do better. So that would be my advice. And I think also we need to rely on each other in the nonprofit space, because we do recognize that everyone's facing challenges. We should learn from each other because there are a lot of people counting on us.
I agree. Solid leadership advice. And I love the hope and the background of your screen. It's about that too. So thank you, Michelle. This has truly been an honor to work with you. Thank you for your time today. I know that other executives out there, other nonprofits, are going to find value in you sharing your experience, your story, and hope. So thank you. We look very much forward to moving forward in the implementation phase of our scope. And thank you so much for your time today.
Happy to be here, and thank you, and look forward to working more.
Same.